Okay. So this is the first of a series of videos that I'm gonna make as I'm going through what I'm going through right now. I'm in Santiago, Chile, and I got here not last Friday, but the Friday before to meet up with a group that I was gonna take to Patagonia. And I'm gonna spend the week in Patagonia and then embark into Antarctica. On my dreams, the last continent that I needed to see. And I was gonna scuba dive over there. Well, life had different plans for me. I got really sick on the flight here. Really sick. Extreme stomach pain. I thought it was diverticulitis because I already had it once. It was one of the worst 8 hours of my life, the flight from Houston to Santiago. I got here and came straight to my room and said, I gotta rest, I gotta take some, painkillers for the pain and just work through this. I was supposed to leave the following day with the group. Well, I had to send them without me. Had two of the worst, most hellish nights of my life. And I'm gonna be honest, and that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this, because a lot of the motivation people, and it's like it's almost like, oh yeah, I gotta, tough and inspirational, positive. Sometimes, man, all you can do is take the next breath. All you can do is take the next step. I don't think I'm very strong. I'm physically very strong, but my resistance to pain, I don't think is very big. I don't know. On that plane, I was in so much pain, and I was moaning and groaning in that window seat. And oh my God, I was like, I can't handle this. I can't handle this. And truth is, sometimes I have no choice. There's no can't handle it, right? There is no can't handle it. And the same thing was during those 2 nights here in the hotel. It's like, I can't handle it. There's nothing I could do. And it's a horrible feeling, man, being away from, like, thousands of miles away from anybody you know. People had already left the group. But, it's like crazy. I don't know anybody in Santiago. It's a beautiful city, by the way. But I don't know anybody here. I was like, shit, At least I know how to speak the language, but it was not a good feeling those 2 nights. And I would fall asleep, and I would wake up an hour later drenched in sweat. Drenched. Night sweats, which is a sign of infection, as I learned. So it was a friend of mine, Jay, that told me. She's a doctor, and talking to her, she asked me if I had been going to the bathroom. I said, no, I haven't gone to the bathroom in at least 2 days. 2.5 days. I remember the last time I went to the bathroom because I was in so much pain. And she asked, have you been passing gas? I said, no. That's crazy, right? Because through life, we just like fart here and there, right? We just fart. Sometimes are more embarrassing than others. But I was like, no. And my stomach was huge. But I'd been burping, which said that's not a good sign either, because it means there's a blockage, because that air is coming back up. Anyway, she convinced me to go to the emergency room. Said if you don't start passing gas or going to the bathroom after tonight, you need to get yourself to the hospital. So I did. And I got there. They did a CT scan, did the blood test, and every doctor that came to talk to me had a not good look on their face. They were not sugarcoating that I was not good. They needed to get into surgery right away. I had a humongous abscess in my intestine, so they needed to remove it. They don't know what I had. So much inflammation, they said. They removed the equivalent of a can of Coke, 300 ml of pus. And my intestine were kind of stuck together too. They said they don't know if it was diverticulitis, if it was appendicitis, because there's so much going on, they don't know. So they did that. I was in hospital for 5 days. They put me on antibiotics, and Lee came to stay with me for one night, and it was great, but then she needed to go on. Because I said, baby, you gotta go to Antarctica, you know. Antarctica's not happening for me, but you gotta go. So she went, and I'm here again by myself. And what I learned is these times, what you do will make a difference between this being a magical turnaround in your time, in your life, or a horrible setback in your life. So I'm going to be making these videos as I'm going through this, because again, man, it is not about tough times, and it's like, no, man, I'm broken. Like I said, sometimes the only thing you can do is take the next breath. And sometimes it's like, I don't want this. But you have no choice, right? So even though you don't want it, this is happening, so you just gotta go through it. So that's where I am right now. And like I said, I'm gonna be making some videos of me going through this. You know, I have a lot of work to do, and I need to get that work done. And I think if I do, that's gonna make a difference. Funny thing about pain, a lot changes in your mind. Like, some things that were happening in my life and worrying me just 5 days ago, 7 days ago, after going through that much pain, you don't even know. It's like something changed, you know. New neural connections are made. Your brain just changes. So that's very interesting. So I've been having a lot of ideas, things that I want to write down. So I need to write them down. You know, not being here soaking and indulging in the pain. Sometimes all you want to do is lay down. And sometimes it's all that you got to do that, you know. Sometimes you got to do it. But if you don't indulge it on it as little as possible. These moments will determine. It's like a portal opens in your life, and you can go to the to the side, or you can use this to propel you. But you don't need to be like, yay. Sometimes all you can do is, okay, I'm gonna sit down and write something. I'm gonna sit down and put some ideas out. Go and sit down and work on another trip. And that's how it goes. Right?